So Saturday was the last home game before hitting the road for the Final Four. How has the week been in training?
Yeah, it's been pretty focused. We've been getting some good work done over the last couple of days. Obviously, it's extremely warm today, so it was a bit of a lighter session, lighter on the head, lighter on the legs. And then we'll do some match prep tomorrow and then get ready for a big game against Montreal on Saturday.
And you're playing against Montreal, a team who came off a very bad loss. How do you capitalize on that?
Yeah, they've had a couple of results lately over the last few games where they haven't performed to the way that they wanted to. Obviously, taking 6 goals against Harrisburg isn't nice, so you could probably assume that they'll be pretty fired up coming into a derby game as well as taking a bad loss. So hopefully we can catch them, on an off day. But it's more about ourselves. I think we've been playing some pretty good football over the last few games. The results haven't been what we wanted, but in terms of the way we're playing and the chances that we're creating, it's very pleasing to see. So I told the boys this morning and during the video session that they should be confident going into the game. So hopefully we see that on Saturday.
And there have been a couple acquisitions to the roster. Will we see any of these guys in the lineup?
Yeah, there'll be quite a few of them will be in the squad, as you've seen over the last several games. But we've been testing young players since pretty much June, so it'll be the same again. Obviously, the season's winding down, so we need to know what we have under our doors to make sure that we're planning and preparing properly for next year.
The season's winding down at home. How would you rate the experience so far playing at OSA?
I think it's been pretty good. The fan support has been there. We've been trying to find the balance. Is a game on a Sunday better than a game on a Saturday? Is 3 p.m. better than the 8 o'clock game? It's trying to weigh up all these different factors. Obviously, we don't want to have games that are coinciding with the first team for a number of reasons, in terms of staffing, in terms of our players being able to see the first team perform, which we feel is critical in their development. So we're just trying to find the best thing that works. Obviously, it's the first year, but so far it's been good, and it's always nice when you get the supporter groups coming out, and that sort of creates an atmosphere as well. I thought probably the atmosphere against Roma's Primavera team was probably the best atmosphere that we had, and hopefully that can spill over during the league games next season and the rest of this season.
And the team's starting to score more at a consistent rate. How would you in practice, how you keep the team motivated to keep scoring at that rate?
They can see it themselves that they're playing well. As I've been saying probably for weeks or months, it's just been moments of concentration, lack of concentration, which you tend to see with young players and young teams that can't really master that, and that's been our hardest challenge. We've gone games where we've kept clean sheets for fun and we couldn't score, and then we get into games where we're scoring but we can't keep a clean sheet. So it's finding that balance over 90 minutes and putting it together, which is what professional football is all about. When we look at the standings, obviously we've fallen short this year. However, if you look at the majority of the games, most games we were competitive in, and we sort of played well against the top teams, and then some of the teams that were a little bit lower, we weren't able to bring that consistency. So that's something that we, as a team, need to improve on for sure, because we've shown clearly that we can compete with pretty much any team in the Eastern Conference, which is what we play against, but we've shown that we can compete on our day against pretty much any team in the conference. So that's pleasing to see. It's just consistency is the hardest thing.
And you guys, is it important to get a win against Montreal? It's the last home game. You're facing a bitter rival. How important is it to get the win?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think you want to give back something to the supporters that have been coming out week in and week out. For ourselves, it's against Montreal. It's a derby. They've beaten us twice. We've beaten them once this year. We've lost the last 2 games against them. I mean, you don't really need much more motivation than that. You shouldn't. So, yes, it's vitally important that we go out there and perform and try to get the 3 points.
Are you guys really sticking hard to Regi and Zakera?
Sorry?
Are you guys going to be watching them the most since they've been doing pretty well against you guys?
Yeah, they've got a few players that are dangerous. Regi on the flank is always dangerous coming in on his right foot. They got a few midfield players. Lapari is solid in possession. It depends who they play up the front as a number 9, but they have some talented young players. But like I said, I'm not so much concerned about what they do. It's more about ourselves.